This spring and summer in Kentucky has been super unique. At times we had a lot of rainfall, at times we had a lot of dry spells. At times it was super windy, stormy. In fact, we set a record at the end of June and early July for the amount of severe warnings throughout some spots in Kentucky. What will fall look like? And we'll cover that in this video. If you do enjoy the information, please drop a like on it, hit that follow or subscribe button wherever you may be watching at. Let's get right in to the Fallcast 2023, presented by Turkey Bash. So when you talk about long-range forecasts, what you have to do first is discover a pattern. In order to do that, we're going to take a look back at the last 2 years, 2021 and 2022, compare them to what has occurred so far this spring and summer. Hopefully, throughout that, we can discover that pattern, offer some context, and be able to project what is going to occur this fall. And we'll take that projection and we'll compare that to what the models are kind of showing us. This allows us to get a better idea and not just rely on model data. So, what did 2021 and 2022 look like in Kentucky? Well, in 2021 and in 2022, it included a lot of what has already occurred in 2023. Various swings in weather. Now, we always have changes in weather throughout the year, correct? But what I mean by the last 3 years being a little bit different and unique is how quickly those changes occur. And by changes, I mean the historic tornadoes, the insane amount of winds, the periods of flooding rains in Kentucky, as well as the periods of droughts for some other spots in Kentucky. What's a little bit different about this year rather than last year and in 2021 is that we are now in an El Nino pattern, and that's a little bit different than La Nina. Now, we need to understand what this difference is and how this affects our weather and climatology here. So what exactly is El Nino and La Nina, and what does that change in phase indicate for the fall and maybe even a little bit into the winter for Kentucky in 2023? El Nino and La Nina. We've all heard these terms. Now, what do they mean? Well, they define the phases of the Pacific Ocean, and that is super important to us here in Kentucky and to everywhere in the world. In Kentucky, during a La Nina phase, which we just come out of after a 3 to 4 year span, typically results in a wetter and cooler environment in Kentucky. And the El Nino, on the other hand, typically results in a drier and warmer atmosphere in Kentucky. This is super important because despite us being in an El Nino year, we've actually seen a wetter than average summer in a lot of places in Kentucky. We've also seen a little bit more of a mild temperature in Kentucky throughout the summer. Now, I know we've had our hot streaks, but overall averages point to the fact that this has not been an impressive summer for heating. How does this affect the fall? Well, typically in an El Nino year, again, we're drier, a little bit more calm, and just overall warmer. However, throughout this year, we've seen a lot of blocking patterns occurring. So with the jet stream dropping south, and a lot of those blocking patterns occurring, we should see a little bit more activity when it comes to stormy weather or snowy weather. Now, which one of those kind of comes out on top, we don't know just yet, but the overall activity level should be interesting given the fact, again, throughout the last 3 years, we've seen a lot of various weather swings quickly occurring, and this fall should be no different. But before we hop into exactly what our prediction is for this fall, I want to give you a quick message from our headline. The 12th annual Turkey Bash is occurring this year, and it's quickly becoming Ohio Valley Raceway's biggest race. It is from October 5th to the 7th. The gate fee is $15. You can follow at Big Red Wagon Productions on Facebook for more information regarding this. Thank you to Turkey Bash for sponsoring WNK, and let's get back into the Fallcast and show you what we think will occur this fall. Now to the part of the video that everyone's been waiting for. Our forecast for Kentucky for 2023. Starting with the temperatures, we do expect this to be a rather average fall, given the fact that spring and summer have also been average. And when we go back to the last El Nino year, it also was pretty average overall. But within those average temperatures, we do expect swings to occur. Like in the middle of October, we do kind of anticipate a really big cool down. The model data has been pointing to this for the last couple of weeks, and we do also agree that given the patterns, a cool down in October can occur. We do also expect that as a result of that cool down and then a warm up, that some strong to severe storms are possible throughout the later parts of October and the early parts of November. We do also anticipate another cool down occurring in later November that could lead to a few flurries flying. Now, again, these are very specific forecasts, and they're not going to be 100% because we are so far out. But this is our best guess given the model data as well as the context that we looked at back in the earlier parts of this video. I thank you guys a ton for your support. If you did enjoy this video, again, drop a like on it, hit the subscribe button or follow button wherever you might be watching at. Leave us a comment with any questions that you may have, and we'll try to get to them for you. Stay safe out there, Kentucky. Until next time.